So sometimes kids are very obvious in their fears, and they know what they're afraid of, and they show it, and they tell us, and that's more simple. Other times, children might not even know themselves that they're afraid, or they might not want to show it. And so we have to do a little digging, a little detective work. So sometimes one of the biggest things is avoidance. So a child wants to avoid something, then it doesn't automatically mean they're scared of it, but it should raise that question in your head. I wonder if there's some fear here. Now, if you just say if a child says, I don't want to go to that party, I don't want to go swimming, and you say, oh, are you afraid? They're going to say, no, I just don't like parties. I don't like chocolate. I don't like swimming. And now you might know that's not true. And if they say, I don't like it, and you know that's not true, then they probably have a fear. But if you're not sure and they say, oh, I don't like it, then how do you know? Do they not like it, or they're just nervous about it? And you have to fish a little bit to try to find out. So you might say, let's just imagine it together, and you kind of paint a picture, and you're imagining it, and you see, does your child imagine all these terrible things happening? Then that's a sign that they have a fear there, and you can help them with that fear. And if they can, but sometimes they'll convince you. It's like, nope, I just don't like it. It could be something like a birthday party. Like, how can you not like a birthday party? But some children, it's too noisy, and the other kids eat too much cake and ice cream and get wild, and they just don't like that. It's not worth it. So some of it is just knowing your own child. And then sometimes there are physical signs. This is children who can't speak yet, or who can't put into words what they're afraid of. You might see regression, which is a child acting much younger than their age, or younger than they're used to acting. So they've been toilet trained, and now all of a sudden they're having a lot of accidents. Or they've been very independent, and now all of a sudden they act like a baby. And this can be a sign that there's something going on, and they can't put it into words yet, what it is. But there might be some fear going on. And then the last thing to think about is, what a child says they're afraid of might not be what they're really afraid of. They might not know what they're really afraid of, or they might not want to say. So a child who's afraid of there's monsters in the closet, they're probably not afraid of monsters in the closet. They probably are afraid of being alone in the dark. But they know if you say, oh, I don't want to be alone in the dark, that you'll probably say, get back to bed. But maybe if there's a monster in the closet, maybe then mom or dad will say, oh, no, that sounds terrible, and maybe they'll help take care of me. But really what they're afraid of is that losing that connection, afraid of that separation.
And with older children, like teenagers, when it's even more difficult because they want to be left to their devices.
Yeah. So older children often get very good at avoiding things that they're afraid of. And so we need to maintain, this is a reason to maintain a really close, warm relationship with our children so that they can trust us to say, hey, I've noticed that you've been avoiding this. How about if I give you a hand with it? And we want to help them by a gentle push. So it may be making phone calls to a stranger. So it doesn't mean go make that phone call. Don't be a baby. That does not help them. And it doesn't mean, oh, you're scared of making the call. I'll make it for you. It just means, hey, it's time to make that call. I'll sit with you. I'll talk about it first with you. I'll sit with you while you do it. I'll talk about it with you after. And that takes time. But, soon enough, they're not going to be around anyway. So, take the time and do it.